Hello, and welcome back to How to Art. So I did mention I was going to be doing something a bit more difficult today, and lo and behold, it was a character from our beloved underwater sea critter show, SpongeBob, and today we're going to be drawing Sandy Cheeks. So grab yourself a pencil, grab yourself some paper, and let's begin. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do, I'm just going to make this a bit smaller now. Sandy's quite a tricky character, and I spent quite a while trying to get used to it, and it's not perfect, but again, it's easily doable. So what you want to start off with is you want to press nice and lightly as you did before, and you want to start off with just a little circle. So make sure it's a nice round circle, so as round as you can make it. As I say, make sure you're drawing lightly, because if you make a mistake like down here, you will be easily able to rub it out, and this is just your structure lines, so you don't want to draw it hard because you want to be able to rub it out afterwards. Once you've done that, you're going to want to draw around about halfway a curved line going with the shape. Alright, this is where her eyes are going to be. You also want to be drawing, just for the top half, another curve. So it's almost like you've got 2 quarters and a half. And the reason is because we need this so we can draw her eyes. Okay, now that we've got this, you want to be drawing the helmet. Now the helmet's quite tricky because her head's near the bottom and it's got quite a bit of space at the top. So just start off with a little sort of marking there. And then you want to draw a couple more markings either side, and on top you want to draw about twice the distance as it is from down there. And once you've done that, you can then go ahead and run those in. Okay, if it's a bit sort of square, a bit ovally, that's okay, because you can just make that a bit longer. That's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to sort of stretch it out a bit more because she has got a bit of space in there. So let's start from here. There we go. And the reason that we do it this way is because it's, rather than sort of the shoulder roll moment, it's really just sort of get that structure in there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yeah, that looks about right. All right, from here, if you just forgive me, I have got my structure lines in here. If you just bear with me, I'll just have a quick look. Okay, yeah, I remember now. So what you want to do now is you want to draw her body. Now, her body is quite literally a cylinder. Now, the cylinder goes from around about here. So it's about halfway between the side of the spacesuit and her face, and same with the other side. And the body itself is about the size, if not a little bit longer, than the space helmet. Alright, so it's got about the same diameter. Alright, now I'm not too happy with that, so I'm just going to rub it out. This is why we draw lightly, and that way we can make her a bit more mass to her sides, yeah, because at the minute she looks a bit skinny, and she's quite a sort of square character, which makes her quite fun to draw. Okay, I'm happy with that. So it doesn't need to be perfect, these are just your dimension lines. Alright, now we want to draw her arm. So her arm is around about here, and it's just a straight line like that. And you want to draw another one there, and then you want to draw her hand. As I say, that's all it is. And same for this one. So this one sort of comes across like that maybe. And then we could draw the hand up here too. And then you want to draw her legs. Now this bit here I really struggled with. Her feet are actually really tricky because they're cuboids, but they're at a certain angle. So it's sort of going like that sort of angle for it. Okay, so the way we've got to get that is sort of draw diagonally across, but it's only slightly diagonally. There we are. As I say, this is just a guideline. Right, now we've got that. We want to draw another one now. So as I say, feet's around about here, so sort of draw a foot like that, and then we've got another one sort of coming across now. Again, this is quite slight. So draw another sort of bit there. And as I say, you may need to rub out and take a few attempts to do this, because I really struggled getting the feet right. Here's another one. When you draw on your lines, try and keep them parallel to the other one. So this line that goes across here, representing the top of her boots, you want to do the same for the bottom of her boots. You see on mine, it sort of goes the same. So that's what you want to do. Try and keep it as much as possible, okay? It's almost like an isometric drawing. It's not quite perspective, but it is isometric. Okay, so again, going across that sort of direction. There we are. And same sort of across here. It's quite fixed, so I'm just going to rub that one out and have it sort of about there, because the feet aren't massive. Well, they are big, but they're not, you know, ginormous in comparison to the rest of her. Alright, and same over here as well. Okay, yeah, that will do. Remember, some of her boot is hidden, so don't panic too much if it's not sort of exact. But as I say, this is the bits where you are allowed to do trial and error. That's absolutely allowed, because we want to get the dimensions right. If you don't get the dimensions right, it will look really awkward. Okay, I'm relatively happy with that. We can work with that. Okay, well the good news is now we've done the structure lines. So now what we can do is you want to grab a darker pencil, basically press a bit more with your pencil. Okay, because this is where we're actually going in. So starting off, we're going to start off with the eyes. Now the eyes are around about halfway, and we want to sort of make them as much as we can round. Alright, so you want to sort of just go, there we go, I'm happy with that. And you want to make the other one the same size. Now remember, we're looking slightly from this angle, so we're not going to be able to see the gap between both eyes, because SpongeBob characters do have eyes that are very close together. There we go. Eek, that's a little bit awry. I'm just going to change that. Say you're best off sort of drawing it lightly, and then once you're happy, going harder. Okay, and then we're sort of drawing her eyeballs there. I think my pen's being a bit funny. There we are. Okay, now let's add the eyelashes in there as well. There's an episode of SpongeBob where he actually knits Squidward, his friend, a sweater made out of eyelashes, and it's very itchy. Yes, it's a good episode. Alright, so now we want to do the ears. Now the ears, this is also a bit tricky, so you want to sort of do almost rounded cube shapes, and you want to sort of have them sort of parallel with that. You may notice as well, mine looks a bit different to my drawing, and that's because there's a few mistakes with this one that I'm just sort of rectifying as I go. But again, it's only a cartoon, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to draw her ears that go across. There we are. This is the top of her head. Now be wary of this line that goes across, and there's a reason why we have that. So this goes straight down, like so. And this one goes down as well. Make sure you leave a gap there, but not on that one. I'm just going to make that a bit neater. Okay, now here, we're going to draw my favourite, a bean shape. Alright, because she is a squirrel, closely related to the hamster, which is my favourite animal, as you know. There we go. And she's going to have nice big chops right there. Yep, I'm just going to make mine a bit deeper and a little bit. You have to be very careful with these ones. As I say, draw lightly, and then when you're happy, you can go a bit harder. There we go, I'm happy with that one, so now I can sort of press a bit more on that. There we go. Right, now a nose is about here. Now a nose needs to be careful. It's actually ever so slightly, if you look, it's actually slightly more under this side than it is the other one. Okay, So we need to be a bit careful now. So we've got most of it down here, and it's just like a sort of a king diamond shape. There we are. Ow, just clicked my jaw then, probably hurt it. Okay, now we've got to do her lip. So her lip is around about here, and it goes up to around about her eye. And then we've got a nice 2 front teeth. Must have got them for Christmas. Your parents will probably find that funny. Okay, and now we've got to draw this bit over here. There we are. And then we can draw her tongue. Just a heart shape. If you're not happy with it, by all means, give it another go. Alright, that'll do. Okay, so I'm happy with that so far, so we're getting there. Alright, so now we want to do her helmet. Now, her helmet's a bit tricky now, and this flower did take me a while. So you want to draw the petals first. You want to draw this flower before you do it, and you need to sort of line it up. So you want it to sort of come across here. So start off with an oval. That's where you're going to base your flower on, okay? Yeah, this is where the thing is. So now from here, you want to now draw the petals. And they're quite thick petal leaves. Yeah. It's not the same, but you know, it's only a flower, isn't it? Yeah, okay, that'll do. And now, once we've got that, then we can worry about going with the curve. All right, now I'm quite happy with the position of the space helmet. So I'm going to follow that quite closely. But if you look at yours and this bit's a bit too low or too high and you want to change it, you go ahead and change it. As I say, the structure lines are just there so you don't make too much of a tangent. Okay, brilliant. I'm really happy with this. Then what we can do is we can just sort of bring in, so right about here, we'll come across like that. Try and line up these lines here. This is just for the inside of a spacesuit, because she's got a cylinder. And I might just sort of do this for her neck as well, because she has got quite a thin neck, bless her. Okay, now we can do the cylinder for her space suit, or water suit as it is. And I'm going to follow this cylinder down nicely like so. There we are, and then it will curve around here. Just going to rub that out. Oops, daisy. There we are. And sort of curve around a bit more. There we go. So she's got a space suit. Now what you can do here as well is inside, obviously she's got some parts, so you can just sort of go with that. Okay, now you notice that I'm not drawing lines going off into each other, so I'm not having like something that's like that and then starting on another one there if there's something in the middle there. That's because you're creating something called a tangent line, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep your lines separate. A good example would be how this here isn't quite touching that, or this bit here isn't quite touching it there either. Okay, so from here now, you want to draw another loop that goes around. Try and keep it parallel with the above. Okay, because if it's not parallel, it might sort of, you know, it's a ring, and its sort of consistency is what makes it look better. You just draw some circles in there. Okay, and from here, just underneath her neck, you can sort of draw something like that, and then like a little keyhole to represent that little zipper she has for her. So that was awful. I'm going to do that again. Yeah, so you sort of got like a little thing there, and it's sort of a keyhole that she's got for a zipper, like that. Okay, so over here now, I'm now going to draw the arm, which I've completely messed up. Whoops. So starting off from up here, it goes round. Now this is quite curved because she's got quite a thick suit. And then this one down here, you want to go down to about there, and then come around like that, and then come around like that. Okay, now I've made a bit of a mistake here, so I'm going to rub that out. Hopefully you haven't pressed too hard, but yeah, just be careful with that one. That's why I always say make sure you're drawing nice and softly. Okay, so now we've got her hand coming round with her mittens in a way. Okay, oh my jaw is killing me. What's going on here? It keeps clicking. Okay, and over here we're going to draw a tail, so a tail is just simply a sort of like that sort of shape, and then we sort of draw a big one like that. There we go. Okay. Other arm as well. Now this one is a bit awry, but we want to sort of go in like this sort of shape is what we want. So we're going to sort of start off thicker and then sort of go thinner as we get to the wrist. And that just sort of gives it a bit more consistency with the anatomy of our squirrely friend. Okay, and then we draw the mitten. Now the mittens as well. This is about halfway for the hand, so if you imagine the circle would be around about there, so it's about twice the size. So if you want to, you can draw your thumb, and then as it comes around, you want it to sort of go around about halfway. So yeah, that's about right, and then we'll sort of draw a line like that to sort of match that circle. Okay, and then we can just go ahead and draw a little rectangle there. There's no set order in which way you want to do this either. If you wanted to start off with drawing the acorn badge, you can do. Okay, so now for her legs. Now her legs, I was quite happy with where they're sort of sitting, so I'm going to sort of stick to this as much as possible. And then we've got something there to represent the boots. And then we sort of go around like that. There we go. And then when you get to around about here, you want to go just above where the cube is. Okay, and you want to round that off as best you can. So you want to round that off. When you get to here, you want to round it up as well. And then you want to do a big clunky thing like that. Almost like clown shoes in a way. If it's too steep, you can always change it. Nothing wrong with that. And then just sort of do a curve here to represent that. And then you've got a little circle here. There we go. Now for the second part of the boot, you want to sort of go just underneath your structure line now. So this is a really good way to sort of give you some sort of structure for your boot. Okay, so we're nearly there. We've got one more left to do. All right, so now we go on to this one. And we're going to go back here. There we go. And then same again. I'm going to draw that thing that I got there. I'm going to just do it again because I want to keep it consistent. Okay, and then from here, boot goes down. Now you can't see all the boot. There we are. Now from here, same again. Like that. And then you can sort of just go above that line. And then you might want to sort of go down like that, and then you got the bit just underneath to represent a sort of steel cap boots. Okay, so having a look now, I am actually really happy with that. That has worked a lot better than I thought it would. I'm not going to colour it in this one because I've already done the colouring in, but then you can sort of add in these, I forgot what they're called now, I think they're called contour lines, and they sort of go with the shape a little bit, just to give that impression it is cylindrical, and I think that's why the creators did that, just sort of give that a bit more what's where, because the suit is a bit plain. So they sort of just add these lines in there, different colours, just to really sort of bring it together so you can sort of see, you know, that it is sort of cylindrical. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. So what I want you to do now is I want you to do what I've just done. I want you to copy this video. I want you to draw Sandy cheeked, and I want you to draw her well, and then I want you to post the video into the comments below. I want to see what you've done. All right, so copy the video, make sure that you draw her yourself, and post it into your comments below. If you could like and share the video as well, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching and giving it a go. All the best, and goodbye.